The Coast Guard officials made it here quickly. We asked them about what the deckhand said about that procedure.
They mud up, they push the bow up into the mud, and they keep power on so that they can't drift down. That's routine. That practice goes on up and down the Mississippi.
What will you do to investigate this? What's your next step?
We have a Marine Safety Office in New Orleans is on scene. They're conducting their investigation. They'll be interviewing all the witnesses and the crew, and they'll be doing a urinalysis on the master and the crew to make sure that alcohol and drugs are involved.
And again, we can tell you there are divers now working in the waterway here. The industrial canal is closed to traffic for an indefinite period of time because this is one of only two major roadways connecting a portion of Orleans Parish on the other side of the canal. Both the fire department and the New Orleans Police Department will be beefing up their presence on the St. Bernard Parish side of the canal throughout the evening and for as long as this condition continues. So again, here, Coast Guard is beginning its investigation. They have their investigators on scene. Now we go to the other side of the canal, and Channel 4 reporter Mike Ross.
And Mike, from our vantage point here on the western side of the Judge Seeber Bridge, as you mentioned, we can see the police divers that climbed out on the wreckage just about 5 minutes before 6. They brought with them their scuba equipment. We've noticed that there's one diver apparently about waist deep in the water now in about the midsection of the wreckage. As Mike Longman mentioned, police think that there were only the two cars visible that we can see, but I'm sure officials want to be especially careful to make sure there aren't any more victims buried underneath the debris of this collapsed bridge. As we mentioned before, two of the victims who survived are now in critical condition in a Chalmette hospital. We talked a short time ago with a gentleman named Tom Moore of Muro, Louisiana, and he pulled two of the victims from the wreckage.
We were feeling for his legs to see if he was paralyzed, and he said, I'm all right, or something. He had blood all over him, though. And the other guy, he wasn't saying anything. And I think he had more like broken ribs or something.
And Mr. Moore himself was injured, suffering an injury to his foot. Again, Chalmette Medical Center is telling us that the two victims they are treating at this point are in critical condition. They are two men, ages 52 and 53, but we did not have their identities at this time. Frank Davis got a close-up look at the wreckage from this disaster. Frank, what did you see?
Mike, we were on the Orleans Levee Board boat as I guess maybe 30 minutes after the collapse. And as we got closer to it, you could actually see the devastation that the impact caused when the structure hit the water. The Coast Guardsman on the West Bank side, who was just about to leave, and obviously he was so shaken up, he said he didn't want to talk to us on camera. He said he heard a tremendous cracking sound. And as he looked to his left, he saw the section of the roadway that was closest to the span turn loose and fall forward. He said one car came down nose first, the other one came down tail first. He said, and the noise was unbelievable. He said it was something that he had never heard or seen before. So if you look across the river, you can see for yourself some of the results of the impact. The section of the bridge that remains standing, you can see the bottom support stanchions. They're all bent and twisted loose. And if you look carefully at the column on the right, on my right, you'll see that the entire bridge is listing to that side. So obviously it's going to be a while now before this bridge is reopened to traffic at all. Hoda, back to you.
Frank, it's kind of tough to see how far it's landing. Is it just kind of slightly over? I couldn't tell from the video.
It's a few degrees off, Hoda. It depends. If you get directly, like we were on the Coast Guard boat, or the levee board boat, if you look at that bridge in a perpendicular plane, you can see that the actual girders are listing 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 degrees to the right. It's hard to tell, you know, without a close examination, but it's definitely some list there.
All right, Frank, thanks a lot. Well, as you might guess, the situation will cause some serious problems for commuters over the next few weeks. Officials are advising that the best routes to and from Chalmette will be St. Claude Avenue and Interstate 510 and Paris Road that run to New Orleans East. Still ahead on Eyewitness News at 6, questions surrounding the award of a Tulane scholarship to the mayor's son.
Just completed a news conference regarding the accident. We go back now to the accident scene with reporter Russ Roberts. Russ?
Norman, we understand that everyone is promising a thorough investigation of this incident, which includes drug tests of all the men that were on the barge. They're also saying that because of this, the investigation means a complete shutdown of all shipping in the industrial canal.
The industrial canal is closed. It will be closed indefinitely. So we don't want any traffic, any sightseers in our boats because they'll be chased away.
And the fire department is also offering some consolation to the people here. They're going to post an extra truck in the 9th Ward for fire protection this evening and also safety in this area. They ask everyone to please stay away. As he mentioned, anyone who shows up is going to be forcefully asked to leave.
All right. Good common sense needs to be exercised in a case like this. Russ Roberts reporting from the Industrial Canal. Diana?
Well, here's some information you may need. New Orleans police are telling everyone to stay away from the areas around the bridge, and if you do have to get across the Industrial Canal, they suggest these alternate routes. For those traveling from the lower 9th Ward, heading west on Claiborne, turn left on Caffin, then right on St. Claude, and go over the St. Claude Bridge. If you are going east on Claiborne, turn right on Poland and left on St. Claude. And from I-10 east, exit at Paris and go to Judge Perez. Turn right on Judge Perez. Well, a 9th Ward high school turns into an armed fortress.
This in the aftermath of the shooting death of a teenager yesterday. We'll have that story.